It's Valentine's Day. So let's start with the birds and the bees. And chemicals called pheromones. Oh, you've heard about them. These are substances that are secreted by one member of a species that elicit some kind of behavior in another member. And they certainly exist in insects, that's for sure. And they even exist in pigs. There are secretions that are produced by the male pig that sensitize the female. So whenever she sniffs a male pig approaching, she will get ready for his attention. Well, something that's very interesting is that the same chemical that is found in pig saliva, for example, two chemicals actually, androstenol and androstenone, are also found in human underarm secretions. And this has led to the theory that these may be human pheromones as well, because we're not likely to have interactions with pigs. So why would we have these chemicals? Maybe it's to have interactions with humans. Well, a whole industry has been built upon that. For example, this substance here is a reputed human pheromone. You're supposed to put a few drops into an aftershave. This is for men, and that will get more attention from women. Is there any evidence for this? Precious little, but there's one fascinating study. It's an old study. It was done in the 1990s, and it used 38 men. That's not a huge sample, but it's significant enough to mention. And these men, in a double-blind fashion, were given this chemical to put into their aftershave lotion, and over a 6-week period were asked to monitor their activities. How often they slept with women, how closely they slept with women, the extent of kissing that they engaged in, and whether they took part in behavior that George Costanza of Seinfeld would describe as, let us say, using his body as a playground. Well, the information was collected, and after the fact, the statistics were unraveled, and the claim was that there was actually more social behavior elicited from women towards the men who wore this supposed pheromone. It was an interesting story. It made the rounds. It was in newspapers and magazines. However, when scientists took a further look at it, they said that the data really wasn't very good. And there's a great book about pheromones, The Great Pheromone Myth, which totally dissects this study and shows that it really has no relevance whatsoever. Statistics were very, very suspect. They didn't control properly for whether the men were married or whether or not they were single. So there isn't really much science here. Except, of course, there's always the placebo effect that is involved. And maybe when you're wearing something like this knowingly, you would approach women in somewhat of a different way. I don't know. But I don't think that there's much to this. However, if you really want something for Valentine's Day that does work, what about something like this? Red, of course, is the color of love, the color of Valentine. So if you really want to be good to your loved ones on Valentine's Day, how about something like